Hello there, I'm Vine and today I have for you a Fallen Empire Rush build. Since even if Fallen Empires are actually pushovers, their raw numbers are imposing enough that most players always push dealing with them to the endgame. Even I typically don't touch the Fallen before 150 years into the game. But that changes now, since I've got a request to deal with them quicker. Though, I must admit, rushing Fallen Empires is equivalent to just rushing battleships, so I was unable to make this build faster than the relative mid-game. Still, this is in essence a tech rush build, so it will be quite a treat anyway. With that in mind, let me explain the mechanics, starting with the origin, as we have a choice here. First is the Scion origin. Yes, I know this is a noob-tube easy mode origin, since it spawns our empire as a vassal of a fallen empire with all benefits coming from it. But it also gives us a direct backdoor into its space in the form of home system wormhole, which is quite a tactical advantage. The second option is to go with Syncretic Evolution, to balance species traits thanks to servile species and get ourselves some free slaves. Also, this one is not a noob tube and is allowed in multi, unlike the Scion. Then from ethics we pick basic Militarist for civic requirements, so I can give you all three from the start. First is Technocracy for the +1 research alternatives, science director jobs on planets, and senior science director consular position. Second is the experimental sentencing civic for orderly slavery type that incrementally increase efficiency bonus for experimental engineer and test subject jobs. Funny how this one civic brought the cursed technoslaver meta back from the dead. Anyway, the third civic to take later in-game is Distinguished Admiralty, the best civic for war, since it gives us +2 commander starting level, +10% ship fire rate, and +20% fleet command limit. As for the species traits we need Cranial Megatrophy, since this big brain trait gives us +25% job efficiency to all scientists and experimental engineer jobs. And the second must-have is natural engineers to double down on engineer job efficiency with additional +15%. That's all from the Empire selection screen. Though, remember that we are rushing tech here, so pushing every other option into science is a good idea. Especially since I'm gonna focus only on the core aspects of the build as always. So, with that in mind, let's jump into the game and look at the options there. Starting with traditions, we need to take discovery as first for the science division tradition that gives us another +1 research alternatives and +10% research speed on finisher effect. Then, further down the line, but not necessarily as second tree, we take Supremacy to unlock war doctrine policies on finisher effect. From perks, we need to take Technological Ascendancy as first, to unlock research focus policies, and Galactic Contender for +33% damage to fallen empires. Then from policies we need to take Voidcraft Engineering Research Focus to research all the ship's technologies as soon as possible, and Rapid Deployment War Doctrine for +25% sublight speed and +10% ship weapons range. Also, as for the council, we must unlock the senior science director position at once, since it gives us +0.05 science per level to researcher jobs. This unfortunately does not include experimental engineers, since Paradox is allergic to tech synergies, but even going full experimental, we will always have some researcher jobs alongside them from city districts. With all these bonuses, let's talk about ships. You see, the best ship to deal with fallen empires, all crises and other AI fleets are these general artillery battleships. You should know them well by now, since they have been a standard safe choice for the last 2 years. The goal of this build is to just get them early and crush any fallen empire. For your information, no, you cannot try this with any lower ship class, as tanking fallen empire fleets is more important than damage, at least on higher difficulties, and only the battleships have enough hull to actually do this. That's it. As more will be click-by-click let's play vid, and I'm too lazy to do something like that. Go bother E3PO for this. Now, it's time for evaluation. In multiplayer, it's too predictable. Technically, Tech Rush is a good strategy, but without the Scion origin, since it's often banned from multi, is hard to pull off in today's meta. Not to mention that having both Technocracy and experimental sentencing betray this vulnerability to human players. Still, I allow rating since Tech Rushing is meta even if it's hard. In single player, it's a total win. With Scion origin, this build is guaranteed to win the game against all AI, fallen empires and crises, since the Daddy Empire will take care of you until you kill them. As for the roleplay, you are an ungrateful brat. No sugarcoating. You gonna just destroy your grandparents' empire, enslave their species and experiment on them until the crisis shows up. And that's simply elder abuse. Anyway, what do you think about this build? Write your opinion in the comments, remember to visit channel's Discord, and see you later!